Hello everyone and welcome to Scrap Saturdays. I hope you're doing well. Yay! I totally loved working with my Felicity Jane kit, and this is the final layout for the Heidi September kits. And I'm just gonna throw it all on here. Yes, every last little bit that was on my desk, I'm like, gotta use it up, tear it up, smack it down, get it all done. And it turned out very papery. Yes, I like it. I love it. It's like a hodgepodge of everything. I call it the kitchen sink layouts. You know, the ones where I tell you like I'm just adding everything in the kitchen sink, pretty much. But I wanted to feel like I had used up everything. There was this feeling that I had with these Felicity Jane kits that I'm like, I need to know how many layouts I can create. I need to know like what the difference is and what is it that I like so much about it? And is it just the colors, or is there enough, in this kit for me to use, right? And so as I sit here and I'm doing this voiceover, I'm like eagerly awaiting my Mila kits. And I'm just so happy that I have two different ways to go right now. And I don't know if, let me know in the comments below, like, do you struggle too? I'm sure you do with like style and how you feel. And of course, when we use products that are created from somebody else's imagination, right? So what their feeling comes through and what they like and their softness. And sometimes for some people, they may look at this and be like, well, I can't, it's not my style. I don't know how to work with it. It's not enough for me. There's not enough, of what I get, like say, for example, in my hip kits, right? Same thing. It's a completely different style, yet it feeds a completely different style and feeling within me as a crafter, right? So I'm feeling that I'm looking at the stickers. I really want to create a title. I want to get my money's worth. And I keep saying that because it's so important that we talk about it, right? Like it is something that we are, aware of. It's not like we just go out and buy stuff and then we don't and we forget. Yeah, we all have that kind of hoarding tendency, and I get that. But at some point, yes, there's a good feeling when you use something up. There really is. And I've heard other people say it when they're like, oh, I just finished this whole, package of embellishments, or finally used up all my enamel dots on this, or the very last sticker, and I can call this, completely used up. And you need that satisfaction. It's a balance of, right, for this hobby. We really need to balance out the hoarding with the using. Right? Does that make sense? Because in this sense, as you can see, I told you, I literally used like all the cards that I could. I have some left over, and you'll see that in my Kill a Kit video coming up. Yes, there are little pieces left over, and I could probably do a very minimalistic layout. And I even thought about it, but I stopped myself. I said, it's okay, Monica, just let it go, digress. And honestly, this is a layout created on the back side of another layout that's on the other side, because I love this lace patterned paper. And that's the thing that I feel that sometimes, because I create on patterned paper, I feel that I love using both sides so that I don't let one side go to waste. And that's just a Monica thing. It's like I can't pick and choose between both patterns because I love them so much. Like I like both sides, and I can envision a layout with both patterned papers, right? So in the new Mila kit, I do order an extra paper package of patterned paper. Peter Piper picked a pepper, something, right? So yeah, I'm going to see how that translates too, right? Because I don't want it to be so costly. I just want it to be a little supplementary, treat for myself. And that's what I feel that these kits are, a complete treat. Like I just love it. And so I'm overthinking this little, scalloped border. I'm like, do I want it here, 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 here? And that's kind of what happens at the end when it's a hodgepodge layout. I just feel like I'm trying to just, shovel in so much, and I have to remind myself that it's okay to just not add an extra piece, right? Just not add it if it doesn't have to go in there. And so I'm going to be creating a title. I'm trying to use this ampersand, which it does. I do use it, and I wanted it at the bottom corner. But then once I decide that I do create a title, which I'm going to do in a few minutes, it kind of goes to the top corner. So the title will read, and hashtag your smile, kind of thing, which doesn't really make any sense. But for this photograph, which is a photograph of my two children, so Augustino and Gabriela, and again, it's still the same sequence of a nice Saturday night that we went out for my mother-in-law's birthday, and the sunset on this pier is just fantastic. So I had to actually struggle around the entire pier towards the edge by saying, can you guys please pose for a picture? Can I get a picture? Can you smile? And they're like, Mom. So I just wanted a smiling one because I totally allow them. As you know, in the past, I've been very honest here. I allow them to give me their caca face photos. Yes, I do. And I respect that I'm not always going to get a smiling from ear to ear photograph of my kids. So I digress in that and I totally get it. But once in a while, right? Once in a while, just give me a smiling photo. Just give me a smiling photo. And so this is my smiling photo. This is their forced smiling photo. So that's why it's #YourSmile. Now, I didn't have any L's left. So yes, that is an upside down number 7 for the word smile. But I think it looks pretty good, right? And if you tell no one while they're flipping through your album, I'm going to say that really quickly they're not going to pay attention to that upside down 7. But now that I told you, the secret is out. So yeah, I really liked how everything really just matches, right? So I've got the last little bits. I think I turned over my container and now I'm kind of throwing things back in. One of the triangles, it's just, I tried my best. I made chevrons out of a couple of them, but they're going back. And you see, look, I even keep like these little tiny pieces of paper that have already been cut out, but I don't know if anyone else does that, but I think it's funny because I'm like, maybe I can still use it for something. And let's be honest, sometimes we just have to recycle our little bits and pieces because they kind of just slow you down, right? They hold you back. They kind of hold you hostage as to what are you going to do, and do you feel guilty for throwing away like a little bit and piece of that flowered patterned paper? And sometimes I do. Did that make sense? I hope so. I hope so. So yeah, those are the honest truths that come along with scrapbooking, right? Instead of saying that everything always turns out so perfect, which is fine. My layout is awesome. I love it. I'm not saying because I still haven't finished. I'm still going to add some little stamping and tags and little bits and pieces just to make it, all complete. And I do actually anchor the top and the bottom, and I hope that I have that on video because I don't know. Sometimes, I was going to say I don't remember, but sometimes what happens is I'm scrapbooking, and I get to the end and I do all the stamping and I do all the mists, and then off camera, like once the camera is turned off, and I'm like, oh, it needs this. And then I kind of go into that again. I call it the second wind creative flow. And I have heard other people do it. And I think it was Melissa that she was doing a video of her, son's layout. And then she came back and she added more bits and pieces. And then she came back, instead of doing a voiceover, she was actually like live and, talking about how her brain just added more things. And I'm like, totally relate. When the camera isn't rolling, there is a sense of like, okay, so I can just do this. And you do get nervous. Like for people who don't do process videos, or for those who do, I think you can relate that there is a nervousness to being camera shy. Like I do know that the camera is rolling. I do know that this is being recorded. And as true and as honest of a process that I want to put out for you, I still think that there is a lot of pressure when you're recording, because you feel it. You feel the pressure of not only how long is this taking, because nobody wants to watch a very, very long video, or how dumb am I? Does it look silly that I thought of that, or is that a good idea, or does it translate out, or if I don't stamp this properly the first time, will they think that I'm not a good enough stamper? Do you know what I mean? I don't mean that that's the criticism we get, but that's the true feeling of what it feels like to create, while you're recording. There are some, stage fright nerves to it. And so it's nice to also, let you guys know, not nice, but it's truthful to let you guys know that we do struggle too, right? When the camera is rolling, we do feel that pressure. And I know that so many of us feel that sometimes we need to just turn things off and come back. So here I'm just going through again my 3 rotating Felicity Jane stamp sets, which I'm going to be putting into a container and then welcoming a new one. But I still will always gravitate to all of them because I find that there's always something that I can pull from here and there. I used my circle punch to just punch out the U rock. I didn't find that I got a dark enough image. I found that it was still very like marbled and speckled. So I do end up using the My People. Again, I'm not sure if that's the one or the 2 little paper border edges that you see. It's the bordering that I do when I anchor the top and the bottom of my layouts, and the My People settles down on the bottom. I was just still playing to see, what kind of embellishments I could just tuck in here and there. But there was something about the way it's stamped as well that I had to just let go of, because I don't know if it's because I don't use an eraser like I've mentioned before on my stamps, or what it was that it needed, but it was just not giving me that true impression. And then here I'm just using the 2 stamp sets. One of them says Forever Friends and the other one says You Can Count on Me. And so, yeah, that's my wish for my kitties. I hope that they do remember, because I always teach them. I'm like, your friends will come and go, but hopefully you'll remember that you're siblings. And we go through so many stages as siblings too, right? So I'm not aiming for perfection, but I'm just aiming for some sort of loyalty within, your bloodlines, right? I'm going to start talking like Game of Thrones now. You are each other's siblings, right? You are the heir to the throne. They're not. There is no throne. No, there is no thrones here. No. So yeah, I'm not sure how much more I add, but it looks so full, right? For the last layout, I was going to tell you I had nothing left to work with, but I'm laughing because I'm like, wow, on video right now, it looks very full. It looks like I had plenty to work with and I could just keep going for sure. So then I don't know what else I add towards the end, but I don't think you get to see it. But on the pictures and the close-ups, you'll see on the tags, there was a black and white pattern on some leftover Felicity Jane paper. And what I do is I just tuck it in right to the edges of those tabs. And so you'll notice it in the photos. And I really like that detail. It really brought some, pop to those tabs because there's so much paper going on, and because it's like a black and white checkered look, but it's not really because I cut out the strip. You'll see it. I'm going to stop talking. This was a lot of talking. This was like 14 minutes of pure nonsense scrapbooking jibber jabber, and hopefully you made it all the way to the end with me. Thank you so much, guys. I totally enjoy this. I'm so, in love with scrapbooking again, and it feels so good. It feels nice. It feels good to be back into the swing of things, and hopefully you're excited with me. Hopefully you're inspired. Be inspired. Be inspired by this hobby. Have fun with it. Go for it. Throw everything on the page and then call it done. Totally, right? Hashtag your smile. Big hugs, my friends. Thank you so much for everything, and I will see you all very soon.